It's Friday of the, I think it's like the penultimate week of school for seniors. That's my understanding, so that's very exciting. Okay. I want to welcome everybody to the SE presentations for the day. A few reminders as we go through the day. Make sure you're using technology responsibly in the house. If you're in the SEE class, remember about the reviews. I strongly suggest you complete those this week so that you have all your time free for your reflection next week. That's a smart way to do it. Also, I wanted to remind people that the question and answer session at the end is one of the most important parts of the SEE tradition, and the questions that students ask are particularly valuable in that. I also want to remind people that if you raise your hand to ask a question, make sure that it's actually a question, okay? The 20 minutes that we give people here, our seniors here at the front of the room, this is their time, and we want to stay focused on what it is that they're trying to explore and communicate. Okay. Are there any questions about that? Thank you very much for being here today, and it gives me great pleasure to introduce Manuel Garcia.
Andre Waters, age 44. Junior So, age 43. Adrian Robinson Jr., age 25. These three men have two things in common. First of all, they're all former professional football players. And second of all, they all committed suicide for the same reason, chronic traumatic encephalopathy. Hello everybody, my name is Manuel Garcia, and the title of my presentation is Hit Hard, the devastating truth behind the NFL. What is CTE? CTE is a progressive degenerative disease of the brain found in athletes and others with a history of repetitive brain trauma, including concussions as well as subconcussive hits to the head. Out of the 94 brains that have been donated to Boston medical research facilities, 90 out of those 94 have been diagnosed with CTE. And out of those 90, 31 have already committed suicide. The term chronic traumatic encephalopathy was first coined by Dr. Bennett Omalu. Omalu, a forensic pathologist from Nigeria, had just recently moved into Pittsburgh. Working at the Allegheny County's coroners, Omalu was given the task of running an autopsy on former Super Bowl champion Mike Webster. While running the autopsy, Omalu noticed some irregularities with the brain. He noticed that Mike Webster's brain looked like, as a 80 to 90-year-old, he noticed some symptoms of Alzheimer's, Parkinson, and Parkinson's.
TV interviews became impossible. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, well, everybody was trying. So I'm not say that different to that. I'm just saying. The things you do to them. I can't say it the way I want to. I mean, I think it's like it's really easy, but I know the time the way I have to say it.
Basically, what the video is showing is this Mike Webster before he died. He's having an interview, and the interviewer is asking him basically details about his life. And Mike Webster, like, his brain is so messed up that he's not concurrent with the conversation. He keeps saying that he is tired, and he just can't keep along with the conversation. He's not concurrent. What are the effects of CT? Some of the effects of CT are: 1, dementia pugilism; second, impaired judgment; third, paranoia, and in worst cases, depression and suicide. Dementia pugilism. Dementia pugilism occurs in people who have suffered multiple concussions, and it commonly manifests itself as dementia or declining mental ability, along with problems with memory and Parkinsonism, which is characterized by a lack of coordination. Dementia pugilistic that's commonly referred to as punch drunk syndrome, which was first discovered by doctors in the 1920s. In fact, the term literally derives from the word pugil, that in Latin means boxer. Impaired judgment. Impaired judgment is a medical condition that results in a person not being able to make good decisions because of an underlying medical problem, environmental factors, diet, or drugs and alcohol. I believe that this problem is one of the biggest ones. You might think that when an NFL player retires from his career, he's economically set for life. What you don't know is that when a player retires, they usually have an undergoing physical problem. It could be a knee or a shoulder, neck injury, whatever. While they are in their prime time and still playing with a club or a team, the team's medical facilities and medical insurance will provide for pain medication. When they're let go from the team, they no longer have this medical support. And therefore, they tend to go to street dealers and automedicate themselves, usually this drug called becoming drug abuse. Paranoia. When paranoia affects a person, their whole life changes. The disease starts to deteriorate their mind slowly and entirely. First, they start hearing voices. After a while, they start seeing things and imagining things that are not actually there. It gets to a point that the person that is suffering from paranoia will adopt a second identity. They will become someone else. This person eventually will go mad, lose their minds, and either commit suicide or go to or start a drug problem. Last but not least, and the worst effect is suicide and depression. Many football wives tell how their husbands behavior changed in the last stages of their life. They become aggressive, violent, and enraged. From an innocent and naive point of view, like those of an American football's wife, they would think that a player is acting this way because their career is over and their life is about to change. Now, what causes CTE? CTE is caused by two things. First of all, the obvious reason, concussions. And second of all, you have the subconcussive hits to the head. Don't get me wrong. It is completely normal for an American football player to receive a concussion. It's what they do. It's their job. They will literally use their heads as a weapon to either defend their quarterback or defend the touchdown line. The problem relies on when the player is suffering from a concussion and they still decide to either hide this or the coaches decide to hide this and to put them back in the game. This is where the problem is. When you decide to take your brain to a level it cannot resist anymore. Now the subconcussive hits to the head. Allegedly, these are the worst. Subconcussive hits to the head affects your brain in a manner that you can't really tell. For example, when a player would receive a concussion, they would know that something's going on, and they would either take the decision of go back in, or they could just sit down, safely. But with the multiple subconcussive hits to the head, the player does not know if he is in fact suffering from a concussion. Dr. Benedict says that in average, an average American football player will receive over 70,000 hits to the head during his career. Now, what are some solutions to this problem? Sadly, this problem cannot be cured. Once the brain is affected, there is no going back. So the only solution there is for CTE is prevention. Now we have two possibilities. We have the the BC01 design, and we also have implementing new game rules. I decided to, in my presentation, to talk about the VC's new design due to the fact that implementing new game rules have recently shown a lot of resistance from all fans, players, and coaches. They say they're afraid that if they implement new safety regulations, the game will lose its authenticity. The VC01 helmet design. The last significant change there has been to the traditional football helmet was in 2001 by Rhythm. And it's very satisfying to watch. It's spent hours looking at this. The last significant change was in 2001 by Rhythm. VC's engineers talk about how their plan is to reduce concussions by 50%. So here, to show you a little bit more of the technicality of the design. For starters, the 01 design is made of a softer and deformable material than different of the traditional helmet that's at the outer harder core. The low shell is where this happens. This material, the sole purpose of this material is to absorb all of the energy coming in from the impact of an opposing player or the floor and bounce back to its original position. The arch shell, which is located inside, is a hard plastic layer that protects the skull from fractures. The core layer is an 1.5 inch thick layer of vertical struts that bend and buckle to slow down impact forces. Last but not least, the chin straps. The chin straps are designed to snap fast into the outer shell, into the inner shell, instead of the outer shell like the traditional helmet would. The purpose of this is to curb the energy through the jaw instead of the head. In conclusion, American football has been going on since 1896, when the first college football game was played. Back then, football helmets were not used. There were safety regulations. It was just you and the opposing team. It worries me how this disease has been going on for so long, and now, and only 2 years ago, this was discovered. I believe that with VC solution, we can reduce concussions to a very minimal level. I'm not telling you that we will completely eradicate CTE, because for us to do that, we will need to stop American football, and I don't think that's going to happen ever. But with VC's design, I believe we can minimize CTE. Thank you very much.
So you find CTE in non-NFL players, either younger children?
Yes. Actually, there's been a couple of cases from NCAA college level football players that have actually killed themselves as well, and after they die, that they make the MRI, they find they had in fact CTE.
So that one of the solutions would be to change regulations, but the NFL, when people are recruited, they kind of are aware of the risks, and the NFL takes them a lot to make up the risks. So do you think it's the responsibility of the NFL to change regulations, even though they already compensate for this by making them law?
Yeah. When I was doing my research, many of the players said that they didn't know that in the long run they would have this type of the disease. Like as I said, this only has 2 years, and the NFL apparently they knew for a very long time, and they decided not to. And there was like an organization made by a lot of players with CTE, and they they sued the NFL for like $1 something. And well, they won, but like, in my opinion, there's no money in this world for my mental health. Like, I wouldn't change my mental health for anything. So, like, yeah.
In your research, did you find anything about from what I've seen? I'm not an expert, but have you seen like any cases that seem to be where you have type of disease maybe?
I didn't really research rugby, but I mean, the answer is obvious. If an American football player that you somehow has this type of diseases, then pretty sure that rugby players who don't use helmets at all, like, it might be like bigger number. But anyway.
We have sitting for like, I had a lot of concussions. I think it's time.
What your question is? Okay. Like, you can have, as I said in the presentation, there are two ways to get CT. First of all, like with the concussions, like having multiple concussions, and also if you played American football for a very long time, in the game you hit players a lot with your head. That's your job. And after a while, this will affect your brain very severely.
So it's caused by multiple concussive blows.
Yeah.
But you can't develop it like you can't catch it. Like if you stood next to somebody who had it, you would have had it.
It's a brain disease. It's kind of
as you and I discussed, in high school football, I had my senior year. In college football, there's a freshman year, and another one. To coach us off each other. So my question is, okay, so my question is, as you just said, and I would agree, and of course now I've got two little boys who talk after me about football all the time. You just said there's no price that you can put on my mental health. Mike Webster's wife, Peter Sayle's wife, their children, they would all agree with you, 200%. At what point do you say the lives of human beings is more important than Sunday afternoon entertainment? You don't want to really fight the NFL's rules because of what you refer to as resistance and tradition. But grown men who have only lived half their life, those numbers were 25 years old, 43 years old, they still got half a life to live, and they're gone. But a room full of those 94 brains were observed by Boston University. 90 of them had. Put those wives and children in that room and tell them again that traditional football is important. How do you respond to that demand? I know that there's football's a gladiator mentality and all that stuff, but how do you deal with these victims, both the victims in the ground and the victims who are left in the homes?
I don't think that there will ever be, like as I said, like there will nothing when, like for example, in the family of these three men, like it will never be suffice any material thing for them to feel that. And as I said before, like now, like before that this disease was discovered, players didn't know what they were getting into, and now like they're being informed more. But I don't think it will really change anything because at that age, you're very young, you're very wild, you're very euphoric. You just want to, and especially a lot of these American football players, they come from nothing. And they're given this opportunity to change your life around. And like they won't say no at that age. Like, they don't know, like they'll just give it up to risk. But in my opinion, yeah, like it would. I don't think it will ever change. But I was gonna say something. As soon as this article, or like this came, like this blowed up, the CTE. Like high school level American football decreased by 25%. Like parents were not letting their kids practice American football because of this. So I think that's something that's something.
What's the timeline for Laura and talents? When do we expect to see them players' heads?
It's not really in the market yet. They have like a pre-sale. Like you can order it online right now, but in the article they talk about how this will only be like NFL level because they cost $1,500. So I don't think that, I mean, it will probably be like NFL and NCAA level because high school like would buy a $1,500 helmet, just like for a high school team. You know?
But of course, the damage would already be done if we didn't prevent it at the high school level, right? It's about multiple injuries.
Yes.
Is that correct? So it's a compounded injury.
And the problem with it is that the only way you know if you have CTE is posthumous, after you die. After you die is the only way they can scan your brain and see if you have CTE or not. Okay.
Do you think maybe they can have a long say that they aware students in school to know about this and fathers in all high schools and so they can decide what they know. So they can protect themselves. They have their own decision.
I think that this is more responsibility on parents because a young kid will he only wants to have fun. Like we've all been kids, like we don't really measure consequences in the future. And we just make decisions based on the short run. And we don't really think about the long run. But it is very hard in the States especially because as Mr. Stanford said, it's like a gladiator mindset. Like if we've all read and seen movies or whatever, like the gladiator shows. And for example, the parents, they were like NFL is the only sport that has like a day reserved for it. Like Sunday, NFL Sunday, like football Sundays. Like families would literally like, don't do anything. Sit down and watch the NFL. It's Clark.
So you say that about, I have grandkids and I don't want them to play football. And they say that I cannot play books, I cannot box, I cannot ski, I cannot do any of these other things because we're all benchers. Is there any comparison between sports of the denture level that you've seen on your research?
You mean like which?
Like boxing would be more dangerous than?
No, boxing is, well, depends because boxing is less dangerous because like even though you don't have a helmet, you receive a lot less hits to the head than in the NFL because, as I said, like Mike Webster received over 70,000 hits to the head like in his total career. And yeah, thank you very much.